Welcome. Episode 6, Getting Rich Off Mondo. I'm your host, Edward Randall. And today, I want to talk NBA. Kevin Durant, Steph Curry, these guys, they're on the same team. But they are a max player when it comes to contracts. These two guys, one of them's going to be the first $200 million player. It's probably going to be Curry. He's in line for a $207 million contract. I don't know how many years, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to pay his rent. And Durant comes right behind him, I think at like $200 million. And if Curry went someplace else, he's going to lose $80 million. Or the Warriors can offer him $80 million more dollars than another team. Vice versa, flip-flop, however you want to take it. Now, you got to really think now, who are you going to keep? Or are you going to keep both of them? Like, let's say, for example, they don't win the title. Let's say they play Cleveland and Cleveland beats the brakes off of them. Okay, now, we already know who's going to be the scapegoat if they don't win. And that's going to be Big Mouth Draymond Green. They're going to point to all of the things he's done. I'm surprised he's still there. I feel like he's one of those guys out of this system. He'll get exposed. But he'll be the fall guy. He'll be the one to take the bullet for the team if they don't win. But back to Curry and Durant. Now, Durant has been in the league 2 years longer than Curry. Okay, Curry's got the championship. Durant's played 10 seasons. Curry's played 8. Playoffs played. Durant 7. Curry 5. All-Star games. Durant 8. Curry 4. Now, why I bring this up is because I'm a conspiracy type guy. And I really don't believe that out of all of the teams this guy could have went to, he would go there unless he was looking to hide in plain sight. Like, I'm gonna go where you know everybody's good and I can just do my thing, or I want to go someplace and I don't really want to do the extra. You know, the over the top, kind of like what he wasn't doing in Oklahoma City. Like, you notice when he played in Oklahoma City, he didn't have nothing to say. Now he plays with the Warriors, and he's got a lot to say. You know, a lot of yakety yak and this and that and chiming in on everything. I don't give a fuck what you think. I just want to hear about how you going to win. How you going to beat LeBron and them. Because LeBron and them, they have put together a team. Now, I don't know if it's the best team, but what I do know is that they ran 20-some players trying out through Cleveland's end. And basically, they got probably their second unit could start on most teams. You know? But what I'm really getting at is, who are they going to keep? They're both about the same age. Their stats are similar. When I say similar, they both score. They both shoot 3. They both don't play any defense. And they'll check out on you. But I guess that's all of them. Now, I'm not here really to get down on them, but $200 million. Who you going to pay that to first? Okay. So if you sign Curry to a $207 million contract, in order for them to sign Durant, they're going to have to get rid of Festus Ezeli. No. They're going to have to get rid of a lot of people to make that work. That would be Iguodala, Livingston, and a gentleman, Ian Clark, would get a raise. Now, they already got rid of Festus Ezeli, Andrew Bogut, and Harrison Barnes. Now, Bogut was like the linebacker. He's running the defense. You might look at his stat line and say, oh, Bogut had, 8 points and 9 rebounds and 2 blocks. But he's directing traffic in the lane. Now, you notice that they don't really have that type defense now. And for Bogut, he fit in that system. We all been around when they've had those great expectations for Bogut. I guess he didn't want to stay, or, everybody felt slighted. But Harrison Barnes and Bogut, losing those two, that's serious. So you replace them with Zaza Pachulia, Kevin Durant, and JaVale McGee. Now, we all know JaVale McGee's history. He's trying to find himself. He's been all over the world playing for all the NBA teams, and he's been more remembered for his goof ups and being silly, like especially when he was in Washington. But he's got a 9-foot wingspan, 35-inch vertical, with 7 feet tall. Hey, all you got to do is be a tree, put your branches out. But can you stop LeBron? Are you going to be able to call the defensive shots in the back and help keep this thing settled? Or are you going to turn back into the clown? You're going to do your clown bit. See, last year and this year for the Cavs and the Warriors, it's a different mix. I think every time I see the Cavs and see Kevin Love, I think to myself, why in the hell did they trade for this guy? Seriously. Andrew Wiggins. See, Andrew Wiggins was the future. The future. Now they really don't have a future. If LeBron leaves Cleveland today, they're not even a 500 team. With this hand-built crew that he picked. He picked them cats. All them dudes, he picked them. He can get on ESPN and say whatever the fuck he want. Oh, it's okay if everybody try out. Oh, nigga, you handpicked these motherfuckers, and y'all better win. J.R. Smith, I think he's like $12 million contract. Shumpert, $9 million. He ain't been healthy since he been there. And the annex with J.R. Smith never stopped. So they do have some veteran leadership in Durant Williams, the guy who got the, $100 million contract for the Nets, and then all of a sudden he got bone spurs in his feet. My feet hurt, and I'm making $100 million coming off of the bench. That one. He went down to Dallas. Oh, we love you. They couldn't wait to ship his ass out. Like, see you later, G. But Dallas is kind of like the Atlanta of the West to me. Like, that's where people go to hone their game or try to, be a launching pad, But the way that they got it set up, the future in Cleveland, they traded to the Timberwolves. And now you got a guy who can't create his own shot. He can get a rebound. He's 6'10". He should be getting 20 rebounds a game. I don't like Kevin Love. I don't like him. He's overrated. He's overhyped. He's got a max contract. He stays hurt. and they swear he's the truth. What part of the truth is he? Somebody's got to go over in the corner and wait for a shot. You know, like you think about Carmelo versus Kevin Love. At least Carmelo can get down on the floor and move with the ball. Nobody got time for this guy to just be standing over in the corner waiting to get a three. And then, you know, sometimes he's hot and they're like, oh, this is what we're talking about. Man, we need that shit every night. Because when they go up against the Warriors, you already know how the Warriors do it. You know, like the whole thing with the Spurs and Kawhi Leonard. As soon as Kawhi Leonard got hurt, they give up 25-point comeback. Same thing happened with Cleveland if LeBron ain't there. All them years, Kyrie Irving just struggling. If I'd have been him, I'd have got out of there. Man, I'd have got out of there. But he's still there, and he's going to be there after LeBron leaves. It's going to be him and Kevin Love. Let me tell you about my best friend. It ain't him. Kevin Love's garbage. But the way the Warriors are set up, they are set up now to run you completely out of the building. Completely. All the way out. Durant is a new wrinkle. He's a new wrinkle for them. For Cleveland, that is. On the, defensive tip. Since, Durant's kind of playing rim protector. He's doing more. But he wasn't doing none of that in OKC. I know Westbrook glad to see him go. But in the same breath, I know a cat like Steven Adams is like, man, I let you get rebounds all season. So now when we come back up for my contract, they're going to say, your rebounds went down. And you can't say, well, I moved out the way so Westbrook could get triple-double all season. They just going to say shit. Is Westbrook going to come by there and bring you some Popeyes for your kids tonight so y'all can eat? No. I was watching them. They were having a press conference. And, they were asking Adams something to that effect. Like, you're letting him get all the rebounds. And before he could even open his mouth, Westbrook was like, hold up a second. We're a team. This is a we, not a me. This is a we, not a I. Say Nintendo. They don't make I's, they make we's. This is a we situation. He didn't even let him answer. So I'm like, what the fuck's that about? Like, damn, motherfucker asked me a question, not you. They gonna be talking to your ass for 2 hours. I'll be at home with my fucking feet up on the damn couch. And you still being here asking questions. So can I answer the ones they ask me, if you don't mind? I'm excited. Because everybody knows San Antonio is not gonna beat the Warriors. I got a homeboy that bet somebody that Warriors won't sweep San Antonio. Shit. If Leonard can't play and Parker's out for the rest of the playoffs, then what you think you got? You got a Mustang GT that's misfiring with bad gas. You ain't gonna spend no tires tonight. But Durant, I kind of noticed that him and Draymond Green, they have an abrasive connection right there on the screen. I mean, I'm pretty sure that Durant's been a superstar longer than Draymond Green has been in the spotlight. So for him to come over to Durant and start talking to Durant like he don't know what the fuck he doing. Let me tell you something, man. Blah, 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 blah. I know the cameras is looking into me, all looking in your face, blah, 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 blah. That nigga wouldn't be all up in my face. I politely told him, I said, look, man, you better back the fuck up. Let me play my goddamn game, nigga. We don't cash our checks together. We don't live together. So you need to back up off me. I think that's going to be something that we're going to see. Some sort of explosion from Draymond, the mouth, Mr. Green. But, you know, like, draft picks, we already know that Cleveland probably don't have any. I probably need to look them up. But the draft picks for the Warriors, their first round in 2017 goes to Utah. Then their 17, 18, and 19 second round are gone. Atlanta, Denver, and Dallas. But the person that's left out of this Warriors mix is Klay Thompson. Klay Thompson, another lights out guy. But you know, as I looked at the shot chart for Steph Curry, he has no mid-range shots. No mid-range shots. They're all threes or in the lane. All threes or right under the bucket. Layups, all that finger roll fancy. So this guy don't take no mid-range shots. I think that in another system, somewhere else, Curry get exposed. We already know he can't play defense. He's not a true point guard. We got a guy bringing the ball down and just shooting it before anything can happen. Okay. But we all know he can't guard Kyrie. We already know. So you take that shooting guard position, which they're probably going to start J.R. Smith versus Thompson. So Thompson is IQ is high. His shot IQ. J.R. Smith's shot IQ not so high. This is a cat that says he only wants to take a shot if it's contested. He doesn't want an open shot. Now, that really doesn't make sense. That doesn't. And he will shoot and miss and shoot and miss and shoot. And keep shooting and keep missing. I mean, it's been a while since Smith went off. When's the last time Smith scored 40 points? Or 20 points in a quarter? It's been a while. It has. Now, you're going to have Durant and LeBron on paper. Now, I don't know who's going to really guard who, because, you know, the NBA kind of stays away from that. I haven't seen that since, like, you know, Jordan, Isaiah Magic days, where the star going to stick to star. So, that's going to be big for Durant to have to guard LeBron, really. Now, I'm not no LeBron fan. We all know LeBron takes 3-4 steps. We all know that he gets all calls. And we know he loves to take the ball, cuff it under his arm, do his little football play, drive into the bucket. So we know that. We know he likes to take the 3. And he's not good, but he'll shoot him. Tyronn Lue can't tell this nigga shit. They got rid of David Blatt for Tyronn Lue, an assistant, to go to head coach of a team that's got so much to lose and so much to prove. Winning the championship don't mean shit. You won it yesterday. What the fuck are you going to do today? You going to win it this year? Win it. Then we'll give you that grace period to enjoy it before we back up in your face saying, what y'all going to do this year? Now, if Durant leaves or Curry leaves the Warriors, or they keep them both. But if one of them leave, they'll be all right. If LeBron leaves Cleveland, they're garbage. They're gone. You give up the farm. It's like to me, like Kevin Love is like a race car that somebody built in the garage, and it's good for certain occasions, certain pavements, against certain racers. Where the boy Wiggins, Andrew Wiggins, is that modern day technology, that turnkey, that take the kids to school and go 180 on the bypass coming home. Cut it off, no overheating, no click clacking here and all of this stuff, you know, that you have to do with those hopped up motors. So you want to put the franchise on the back of a race car that you use for specific occasions, or something that is sleek, up to date with navigation, that you can you know, take the kids to school, then you can race at night. But then with this old car that you got in the garage, oh, we got a list. We got a list of things that have to happen before we can even load this thing up on the truck. Where you can hit Wiggins on the phone and he can pull up on pump gas. You're going to put the future. See, that's what they want to do. They want to say, that's Kevin Love's team. We didn't trade him for Carmelo because he is the future and the leader, and it's going to be his team, not Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is the Klay Thompson of the Cavaliers. All the shit he doing, and it's LeBron. All the shit everybody else does on the Warriors, and it's Curry. Curry's hot. Curry's 8 for 11 from 3. Okay, well, guess what? Wonderful. But when it come down to these playoffs, it's going to be serious, because you have to guard your man, and Kyrie ain't no joke. He ain't no parts of a joke. See, add Durant, but you get rid of Bogut. Bogut is your linebacker. He's coming up. He's reading the offense. He's coming up. He's getting the sack. You're going to have JaVale McGee back there making $1 million defensive decisions. JaVale McGee. So, Green's going to have to take over. But it's all situational. Like, once you got, now that you got 3, Warriors got 3 cats lighted up. You got 3 people you got to worry about shooting the 3. So that opens up everything else. Under the bucket, back cuts, all this. Using the sideline at 6 and 7. You know, all this stuff is going to open up. But LeBron gets the calls. He gets the calls. Who's more important on the Warriors? Curry or Durant? We already know what Curry will do. Curry likes to do, he likes to be fancy, throw the ball behind his back, you know, right into the front row. He's careless with the passing. You know, you should work harder on it. You're always working on the dribbling 3 balls. Who, look at me, I can dribble 3 basketballs. But you make a pass behind your back and it go into the front row. The Warriors got a lot. There's a big cloud over the Warriors. They don't know if the coach, if he's going to stay or if he's going to have to quit because of his back, Kerr. I mean, Kerr just come up off of Mark Jackson's blueprint. Same way Harbaugh came in on Singletary's blueprint. They got a thing going on in the Bay where they wait till somebody else got the blueprint. What they did was the Cavaliers snatched the rug from up under David Blatt. They went, I think they had lost in San Antonio, and then they went to the Warriors and lost on Sunday afternoon, ABC, if I'm not mistaken. And then they fired him and then made Lou the coach. Okay. Now you find somebody real important to what you do and tell them to go on about their business and hire somebody that the blunt roller or the guy that goes to the store and gets the liquor and the beer. You hire him. See how far you get. He can't even tell LeBron what to do. You got loudmouth Green always talking crap to Kerr. You know, like if you go back and watch them after they won the first one, that was the first thing Draymond Green was talking about after they won the championship. Up there on the podium, he was talking about his relationship with Kerr and how he felt about Kerr. Instead of, I'm happy we won. He was talking about Kerr. Throwing shade or whatever. That's what he's talking about. But Kerr kept it classy. Every single time they asked him, well, how do you feel about what Draymond said? Hey, you know, Draymond's a fiery guy. And every team needs a fiery guy. And he's ours. Classy. So, you got all this in the mix, you know. I mean, 2-3 years ago, Draymond Green wasn't running his mouth and all up in everybody's face. Man, I don't need you to help me get pumped up. Man, you better back up and give me my personal space. For real. Well, I'm finna tell you. I couldn't handle that. Steph Curry. First unanimous MVP. First, allegedly, the first unanimous. That means everybody picked him. All the writers, everybody had a vote. Picked him. Everybody. You didn't have Shaqs, Kobe's, Jordans, Magics, Kareems. You know, you've even had Wilts. You've had Olajuwons. And this guy gets a unanimous. Jordan and them had 2 3-peats. If I'm not mistaken, the Pistons won a few. Really? Unanimous. That means everybody check Curry's name with the, I guess, the #1 vote or whatever. Everybody. That's a fix. Ever since Adam Silver took over, I give him a D grade because he ain't worried about the sleight of hand or the smoke in the mirrors. Now, when David Stern did that shit with CP3 and not letting him go to the Lakers, that was his last little thing before he left. But Adam Silver, I don't like him either. I don't like how he handles business. They took the NBA and loaded it up on TNT and ESPN because it's a flawed product. Nobody wants to watch the East play. The East, the Eastern Conference, nobody wanted to watch it. Boston made it interesting. I know Boston wished they would have got Jimmy Butler because they need him. Because, I mean, they're not going to beat Cleveland. They're not going to beat them. Everybody knows that. The Celtics? You mean to tell me the Celtics are going to beat the Cavaliers, and then they're going to go and beat the Warriors, and then they're going to have the first pick in the draft through their little shenanigans with draft picks? Atlanta let Horford get away, then Cleveland slides down in there and cherry picks Kyle Korver out of their starting lineup. That's bullshit. You just gonna take. That's why I say Dallas, Atlanta, NBA, launching pad for other players. You just, you go there and you showcase. You're like, it's like the mega super D League teams. They signed Howard. I'd cut his ass. I mean, Howard's a mess. He destroyed what Atlanta had. I don't understand how Atlanta just been going downhill for 3 years. But Silver letting Korver go to Cavaliers, and then they get back Mo Williams, who was on the Cleveland roster, but he was injured and he had a surgery, and I don't think he was coming back. So they shipped him to Atlanta. I don't know if they bought his contract out or sent it somewhere else. And we got Dunleavy, I think. Mike Dunleavy. A guy said his back hurt and he ain't reporting to the to the Hawks. But he did. Yeah. You're gonna take our best 3-point threat and give us Mike Dunleavy. Oh, wow. Dunleavy. I think that they're going to have a 4-point shot eventually. And that Curry and them are the ambassadors of the I'm 9 feet behind the 3-point line. Knocking them down. Him, all of them. I mean, that's who they focus on. They focus on Thompson and Curry like nobody else. Like every other NBA player, make sure that there's an inch between the tip of his toe and the 3-point line before they shoot it. Nobody else is back here taking deep threes except them. But we know that's not true. But that's who they choose to spotlight and who to show. But I think the 4-point shot's coming. It's inevitable. There's a lot of interesting ways that they could implement it. Like the last 2 minutes of every quarter, the 4-point line shot is in effect. Instead of just having it in there, just complete the whole game, and then you just got people just clanging 4-point shots. But I don't know how much further back it would be, but the 4-point shot is coming. It's coming, and I think that Curry and them are leading the charge through the play and what they're doing. Adam Silver's going to have to come up with something. If he's a magician, he's a horrible one. But this playoff is going to be very interesting. We're going to see who's going to be the alpha. Is it going to be Curry or is it going to be Durant? Or is it going to be Draymond Green trying to sneak up in there with all his mouth, running his mouth all the time? Who's going to step up? There's a lot of Chiefs. Not so many. A lot of chefs in that kitchen. Who's the best? Whose risotto do you want? Whose beef Wellington do you want? Durant or Curry or Draymond. Everybody can't make it. I think that Thompson's got a lot to prove because he's the one who doesn't get the spotlight and plays every day. You know, solid numbers, good numbers, and occasionally he sets it off. Nobody sets it off on Cleveland except, you know, LeBron, Curry. You know, I can remember one occasion where Love had 25 points or something in a quarter. But if they're going to let you shoot, then you're going to hit them. It's just like on the NBA 2K17. When you playing somebody, I mean, you know, like one-on-one on the same TV. If you are open, you're going to hit the shot. You're going to get the green. It's going to be green. So if they let him shoot and he scores 25 points, then so be it. Love is not a dynamic player. He is not a guy that can, you know, look at Porzingis. Porzingis is 7'3". I mean, this guy is ridiculously tall. Man, he made Kevin Love look like Porzingis has got the moves. And if he's smart, he'd get out of there. But we know the Celtics aren't going to beat Cleveland. And we know San Antonio is not going to beat the Warriors. So this is going to be really interesting. Tristan Thompson, overpaid, overhyped. This guy gets 10 rebounds a game, maybe 6 points. That's it. He says he's doing what he's supposed to do. When LeBron was snapping, saying, you know, folks around here ain't, you know, he's talking about Thompson because Thompson come right out and said, oh, man, I worked hard tonight, man. He talking, I don't care what he talking about. And then he goes out the next game and doesn't take a shot. Doesn't take a shot the whole game. So what are you proving? You on the court and you pouting? Or what, they freezing you out, they're not giving you the ball? Bullshit. We ain't got time for that. That nigga pass the ball every time he ain't want to shoot it. I don't want to shoot. Yo, he went like that. He want to talk about me in the press. I don't even want it. So that's what kind of shit we up to. These are all grown ass men, over fucking paid, playing a sport. Ain't saved a life yet. But Durant, we know what Durant can do. We know what Curry can do. But who's going to be calling the shots? We know who's calling the shots in Cleveland. LeBron James. That's who's calling the shots. We don't know who's calling the shots on the Warriors. They just want to present, you know, ESPN presents the Warriors as being just perfect. This thing is perfect. Kind of reminds me of some baseball teams. I'm not going to say any names. Had some people that was, you know, pretty big boys, man. Pretty big lineup. LeBron's calling the shots. Is Curry calling the shots? This is important because you can't have a situation where something happens in Draymond's running his mouth and all this stuff, and there's not going to be that type of scenario in the other locker room when they're in there doing their press conference. They go in there and they talk to Bron. What about this? Well, we're going to handle that. What about that? Oh, we're going to take care of it. Or what about this? All right. But in the other locker room, oh, what, Kevin, What did what did he say to you? You know, what did Draymond say to you? Ain't nobody got time for that shit. Them boys are tired. They want to go home. Draymond is the X factor. And I guess Kevin Love would be the X factor on his team. Draymond threw expression and attitude and love with bad play and standing in the corner and can't create his own shot. He's 6'10", but he can't, you know. I mean, have you ever seen Porzingis play? Man, this guy will run all the way down the court and dunk the basketball, dribbling, all that stuff. I mean, this guy, man, that's the only reason Phil Jackson's still there. If there wasn't no Porzingis, his ass be out too. I used to think that he went to New York just to make sure that they weren't better than Los Angeles while Los Angeles was rebuilding. While they were having the Bus family coup attempt, while Phil's over here on the East Coast throwing shade to Melo through a reporter and tweets. Him and Trump don't need a Twitter. You know, they don't. But that's how it was going. So I want to know who is going to be the one that's going to take the reins for the Warriors. You know, I can imagine what their press conference looks like. Serious. But Iguodala, Livingston, they're critical. They're critical when they come off the bench. Because, see, their bench used to be deep. Now it's not. And you got JaVale McGee. And then we already know who the knuckleheads on the other team are. Damn Shumpert and J.R. Smith. What are them two guys going to do? I mean, but it's going to be good. And I'm looking forward to it. And we're gonna do a lot of shows during those playoffs, the finals. So let me know what you think. If you think I'm crazy, if you think I'm wrong, or if I'm exactly right, down in the comments below. And this has been episode 6 of Getting Rich Off Mondo. Thank you.